Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I would like to start by greeting our esteemed professors and my fellow colleagues. My name is Mislav. I'm a second-year student at University of Zagreb, Faculty of Organization and Informatics. And today I will present the key findings from our research paper that we did. So advantages of decision making using Ai-Ahp, a case in the banking sector. I would also like to point out that this study was co-authored with my professor, Barbara Schlieber. And let's get started. So introduction, let me start with an overview of our study context. This study examines how artificial intelligence, particularly ChatGPT, enhances the analytical hierarchy process, AHP. The study highlights several key advantages of using AI with AHP method. The whole study is based on our experiences in addressing a tactical problem related to internet security vulnerabilities in the current version of a new application within a financial organization or in the bank, to be exact. So objectives of the paper. We have two primary objectives. The first one was to explore how artificial intelligence improves decision-making processes by integrating with AHP method. And the second one was to propose a tentative AI-assisted decision-making model tailored for specific financial institution. Then we go to literature review. So our study is grounded in several key publications that have provided really valuable insights. The first significant research paper by Stone and the other co-authors emphasized the potential of artificial intelligence in strategic decision making. Particularly in marketing context. Meanwhile, the other research paper by Shrestha and the other authors highlighted the importance of hybrid decision-making models where AI capabilities enhance human judgment. So the findings from literature, oops, sorry, my fault. So the findings from these studies have framed our focus on combining traditional AHP method with AI-driven enhancements. Next, methodology. So the methodology for structuring the decision-making model was, how I like to say it, was divided into two phases. The first phase included a literature review and expert consultation. And after we did that, we did the second phase, which included integrating AI. So we started by applying traditional AHP techniques, including a literature review and an expert interview. The literature review helped us understand how AHP has been used across different industries, while the interview with an IT expert inside of a bank provided real-world insights. So the expert identified the most relevant criteria for evaluating a decision problem, specifically addressing vulnerabilities in an internet security application. This phase ensured our research was grounded in both theory and practical needs. And after we did that, then we come to integration of AI or ChatGPT to be exact. So next we introduced the ChatGPT to enhance the process. The AI was tasked to generate potential decision criteria, refining and prioritizing them to fit organization goals and suggesting alternatives to solve the problem. Unlike the traditional approach, we all know, which required lengthy discussions and refinements. ChatGPT completed these tasks in under an hour, which is really good because it's a great time saver. Because if we don't have enough time, it can be really good implementation for us, and also offers a comprehensive and flexible set of criteria. The results we got, these are like the main three results that we got from our study. So by combining the traditional method with speed and versatility of AI, we developed a hybrid decision-making model that leverages the strength of both worlds. This comparison allowed us to objectively assess the potential of AI and Ai-Ahp in real-world situations. Our results revealed three key advantages of using AI. The first one is enhanced criteria development. So, for example, when analyzing vulnerabilities in the bank internet security, ChatGPT suggested criteria such as time to implement solution, how much it's gonna cost, and the other ones. But the one that really stood out was impact on the customer trust. So interestingly, some of these criteria, like impact on the customer trust, were overlooked during the traditional analysis phase, demonstrating the AI's ability to think outside the conventional patterns. The second one was improved decision-making capabilities. We all know that AI can process really large amounts of data, complex problems, and making them easier to analyze and to resolve them. And the third one was a reduction in subjectivity and fatigue. So, for example, in banking scenario, when deciding on the best cybersecurity solution, traditional methods might rely heavily on preferences of IT managers who are in the charge of the solution, which could lead to biased prioritization of criteria such as ease of implementation. With AI, the system analyzes the amounts of historical data that we gave them and creates the patterns and makes the best possible decision that we could make. Let's get into the conclusion. So, in conclusion, we can say that integrating ChatGPT with Ai-Ahp can be a really good thing. AI has some strengths. It also has some weaknesses. That's not even a discussion. But as the models progress, it has more and more strengths. So looking ahead, we believe that the role of AI in decision making will continue to expand. New models are trained on larger and better datasets, are being released every few months. So there is no doubt that outcomes will improve with the potential release of artificial general intelligence, or also known as AGI, in the near future. Pressing need for so if we got AGI, we could probably do the whole process just by AI. We do not need any human interference. And the last one, but I think this is the most important one, is the AI regulation. There is a pressing need for AI regulation because we don't know what AI can do and how much better can it be and what type of problems can be caused by AI. And the last one, we have limitations that we go through on our study. So Since this was a single case study focused on the banking sector, its findings may lack generalizability. And future research of this type of study should explore AI and Ai-Ahp models across diverse industries and the context to validate their broader applicability. These are the references that are used in this study, and I just want to say thank you for your attention and your time. I hope this presentation has given you some insights into the potential of AI and Ai-Ahp in decision making.
Thank you very much. Very interesting and well made presentations. Since we are comfortable with time, I would like to give the opportunity to the audience, if you want to make any questions. Monica.
Yes, I would make questions to all of them. Yeah. Okay. As far as I understood, you have all. This is a general question. Whoever wants can answer. You have used ChatGPT to create the model, to build the model, right? This is something that we have been discussing this morning in the panel, in the AI panel. Okay. So, so I've seen that like two different approaches. One was to prepare our own model and ask ChatGPT to review it, and the other one was to start from scratch. When you start from scratch, how do you prompt ChatGPT? What information do you give? Or you don't give any information. So it's very important, as we discussed this morning, how you prompt the AI. So questions regarding the way you ask ChatGPT, what type of questions and information you give it. And then another question was, did you think about using ChatGPT as an expert answering questions? Did you try it? I asked you, and I also asked Enrique, all of you. Did it work? Because I've tried it and I have different versions of thought. So this is the general question for the three presenters, okay? Could you please explain to me how you prompt ChatGPT?
It depends on the task, but it's important to give ChatGPT some context. For example, we can't tell it, write me an essay about the Roman Empire. We need to give it some basic information about that subject. And usually what I do when I make prompts is I tell it, pretend you're a history teacher that is going to write an essay about the Roman Empire, because then ChatGPT contextualizes itself into that environment and can pull more data from different sources easily.
Okay. But the type of questions that you gave, the specific questions, it was like what? What you answer is in a general perspective, but what you told ChatGPT, read that reference. You put some reference so that she could answer you, or what?
Yeah. So in the prompt, if I have access to, I include usually a document, a few paragraphs, so it has something to work off of. And then I add a sentence based on this document, pretend you're a history teacher, do this and that, and then give me an output that looks something like, and then I give another example of an already made document.
Okay. And the rest of you, for example, Eva, you said you asked ChatGPT to review your model. Is it correct?
Yes, we made our model.
Yeah.
And then we explained to ChatGPT in detail what should we do better, or does he think that it is good enough?
But did you give ChatGPT any extra info?
Yes, everything about the textile industry, how do they work, what are some main points and what should he put more focus on.
Okay. Okay. And Mislav?
I mean, it's really important how much data we gave him, because if we give him just limited amount, we will not get a really good prompt. While doing this project, I asked him, so here's the problem, internet security vulnerability in this application. Create me, for example, 5 criteria, give me ISAHP criteria, and I gave him the explanation how this sector inside this bank works. For example, what is important, what to highlight on, and then we can get like really good output. But that was on the ChatGPT-4, so not the newest model, because OpenAI just released the O1 model, if I'm not mistaken, and how much I'm seeing, it's phenomenal. It's so much better. It's trained on more data, on more refined data, and I think we should do this again on the new model and see how the outputs would change.
Okay. Did any of you use her as an expert? Ask her to give judgments, to elicit judgments. Did you ask the artificial intelligence to do so or not?
Monica, the assignment was about structuring the decision. I think
Okay.
you didn't
Okay.
have to analyze the model,
Okay.
right? Only,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the question. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Very good work, the three of you. Congratulations. Thank you very much for presenting that in the conference.
Thank
Well,
you.
you know, that's very coming from the chair of the conference. You know, that's really a big compliment. Okay, let me ask you some additional question. We still have 15 minutes. I have too small, my ears are too small for this. Okay.
These are too big.
Yes. So you educated yourself I'm surprised how much knowledgeable you are about prompts. I guess a couple of weeks ago I received an invitation to register for a prompt engineering course, you know, a whole semester, and you get a diploma. You know, it seems well, definitely is the most critical part when using a large language model. So, did you yourselves, you know, train yourselves? Found a course, YouTube? How do you train? You know, each of you. I will start with the ladies, Eva. Did you hear me?
Can you explain the question?
Yes. How do you learn to use prompt to prompt properly?
Oh, it was like a hard process because even if the AI is smart, it isn't as smart as I want him to be. So I needed to ask him a lot of questions, like explain him a lot of stuff, like many of sub questions to give him the point that I want and not to get his point.
Okay. About Emmanuel?
So at first, when I first started using ChatGPT, when it was, I think, model 1 or 2, it gave very bad answers to most prompts. So I just started to ask it more specific things in like shorter sentences. But as the model grew, I learned that setting some conditions within the prompt would also increase the quality of the prompt. For example, during a certain time, I don't know which model that was, but telling ChatGPT, do this and I will give you a $200 reward would make a better prompt than just saying do this. So it was mostly some trial and error, but you have to kind of get creative with writing prompts. You need to you not necessarily treat it as like a do this and be done with it, but give it some context. Explain it to him how you would to a human who has the most knowledge out of anyone else.
Mislav?
I would agree with Emmanuel with almost everything that he said. I also started using ChatGPT in, I think I was junior year in my high school. So it was ChatGPT 1 or 2, the model. And I think the prompt engineering is the most important part of using AI because it's really important how to structure a prompt. Because if you structure your prompt really badly, the output will be really bad. And there are a lot of studies how to structure your prompt. There are a lot of articles. Some of them are more like scientific. Some of them are more general like. But I think everyone could learn uh, how to use ChatGPT, and I think it will become just a part of our daily life. And with new models, who knows what's the top that can reach.
Right. Uh, the so basically, you all are self-taught students in terms of prompt, learning how to prompt. The other question is that has come with this, I call it experiment in this course, is the discussion, what should be done first? In this case, you were told to use traditional methods and then to use AI. But I think actually one of you suggested that probably would be better to use AI first to perhaps be more creative and then use the traditional methods, right? And I guess a third possibility would be that we will be interactive. You go back and forth all the time. What are your comments or what do you think about it? Because right now you are the one that have experienced this. I haven't used AI for decision making yet. Again, Eva, Emmanuel, sorry,
Mislav.
So I
Eva. No, let's start with Eva and then Emmanuel.
So, actually, like I said, I firstly used the traditional method because I wanted to learn from the books, from the literature, what actually ISAHP is, because I thought that maybe ChatGPT can't give me the knowledge that I want to have. And then after I learned all the main points, I went to ChatGPT and told him that main points that I learned, and then he explained me how does he sees the ISAHP process, and then we collaborated together and made a traditional and modern ISAHP solution.
Okay. Emmanuel?
so I like to first ask ChatGPT to give me a few ideas, something that wouldn't necessarily lead to my entire project or decision being what he tells me, but some sort of suggestions. For example, 5 to 10 things that would be good to be included in the model. Then I make the model, again, not necessarily based on what ChatGPT told me, but what I think. And then I go back to chat and ask it to review it, what he would improve. And if I don't agree with something, I don't need to necessarily change that, but it's good to have an instant second opinion while making models.
Mhm. Okay.
I would agree with Emmanuel. This like second opinion that ChatGPT gave us, it's really crucial because so I always first start from the book, let's say. So I first learned what Ai-Ahp is, how do you structure it, what are criteria, sub criteria, etc. Then I asked ChatGPT if I didn't understand something to explain it to me. I use ChatGPT a lot in that way, especially during my college days, because there is a lot of things that are not clearly at first like, oh, that's that. So I use it like as my little assistant every day a lot. And I think it's really good for reviewing my tasks that I do and to improve them. Sometimes it just made them worse, but it depends. But I think it's really crucial in today's learning to use ChatGPT.
Very good. Thank you. Let me see. Somebody mentioned that most of AHP could be done, it was Mislav, most of AHP could be done with artificial intelligence. I guess you were talking in the future, but well, I wasn't sure whether you were talking in the future or not. But my question is, did any of you try to use ChatGPT for any, sorry, I wanted for AHP calculation, but now I remember that you were not expected to do any calculation, right? Okay, so forget that question. I'm sorry, my mistake. This is another interesting area of research. Mislav, when you talk about ChatGPT, you refer to ChatGPT as him. When interacting with ChatGPT, I mean, do you refer ChatGPT as him, her, it? What is your, how do you think of ChatGPT? That's one thing. And how do you address it when prompting?
So
Okay.
that's a really hard question, to be honest,
and
because I don't know what it is. I refer to him as it or he. I don't know. That's
no,
just
you
my
said him. I heard you very
him.
well because
Yeah,
you said
to him. So
Mislav
he.
said him.
Yeah. So, but that's just my vision. I'm not saying anything. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like ChatGPT. He. I don't know why.
And when
It's
you
just.
prompted, do you ask please ChatGPT? Do you use please or anything like that?
Sometimes it depends how good outputs or bad are. If the outputs are really bad, then I beg him, please make this better. Please, this my grade depends on it. So please make it better. So yeah.
Okay, that's good. Eva, how about you?
I'm not actually sure because I just write a question and I'm trying to avoid the pronouns like he, him, her, she. So I'm just, hey, can you help me with this, I don't know, question or something like that. So I don't actually use pronouns, or maybe I use like, hi ChatGPT, and can you help me with this and this task? So
Okay.
When you address it, you don't need to use a pronoun. It's just when you refer to it.
no, it's just help me. You need to help me.
No,
Thank
just
you.
I would say it, but since you all said he, I said she. Just
Yeah.
because it's a way of provoking that people name it either he or she. Not everybody should name it he. Why? Why a man? Why not a woman? We don't know. It's nobody. So that's why I said she. Just
Well,
to
ChatGPT
that
in
everybody
Spanish
in
sounds more
Spanish we would
masculine.
say, yeah, it's the same problem. People say he in Spanish or she. I always say she, but it's because I like that way.
Okay. Okay.
But don't worry about that, Eva.
Yeah, but you say that Eva, that you say, please ChatGPT help me. Is that what you said? Is that what you prompt?
What? Can you please repeat?
I think you said that you would use a term like please ChatGPT help me.
Yes, I like to use the "can you please help me?" And after his answer, I like to thank him for his help. Even if it's bad, I say like thank you. So
Okay,
yeah.
good. Emmanuel?
Well, depends on the type of prompt. For example, if it's like a coding issue, I see it more as commands that I'm giving to it, and I just say, write a code about this, make sure to include this. But if it's a more structured question, for example, about models or specifically like writing essays, I do tend to include, hey, please help me, make sure to include this and watch out for this in a more friendly manner because I want to let him have more freedom while writing.
Okay, that's interesting. You know, a few weeks ago, I read an article in the Wall Street Journal about an experiment in Japan that showed that whenever you were kinder with ChatGPT, you got better answers. No? And there was a discussion from developer that some would say that it makes sense, and they would say it doesn't make sense. But it was a very provoking experiment made in Japan. So to what extent the humanization of the system helps or not, no? So all those are the things to. The last question, what you said about avoiding the subjectivity. So what do you think about this? Do you think that the main advantage of, no, I won't say main, but one of the important advantages of ChatGPT and systems like that is avoiding subjectivity? Eva?
So I actually wasn't thinking about that. So it's actually a great question. And I think that ChatGPT is actually a very powerful and good tool. But I also think that we should use it like wisely because he knows actually a lot of things.
Okay. Emmanuel?
Well, I think it's good because ChatGPT mostly gives very objective responses. But I haven't tested it myself, but I've seen online, for example, when asking about some political and very specific things, he tends to be very, I don't want to really answer this. This isn't my sort of field, and he kind of leaves you hanging in some scenarios.
I have another
Mislav.
question. Sorry, do you guys pay for ChatGPT? Do you use the paid version or not?
No, the free one.
The free one.
We do have some friends that use the paid one, and I gotta say that produces the difference in prompts is night and day. The paid version can solve tasks much faster and actually correct than the free version, and it's really just not comparable.
Okay.
Mislav?
I just wanted to add on to Emmanuel. So the paid version do tasks so much better because it's used the new model that I just mentioned, the O1.
Okay.
And the subjectivity that comes with ChatGPT and the other artificial intelligent bots. So, for example, when was the election in the USA, most of them didn't want to say anything. For example, if you ask him who would win the 24 elections, he just didn't want to say anything because he was just avoiding the questions because it was trained on that type of data that just like avoids to give any political answers and stuff like that. That is really, really sketchy, and it could cause really big problems for the developers and the company that's behind the chatbots.
Very good. Just to finalize, just an observation. I use the ChatGPT, the paid version, the latest version. I use it a lot, but it's great assistance if you know what you're talking about, because it can really give you information in such a way that seems right, but it's totally wrong. A few months ago, I got an email from an editor saying your paper has been accepted, ready for publication. One minor thing, I would recommend that at least in the introduction part, you cite literature, more recent literature. I understand you started your study, but it takes a few years to complete. But at least for the introduction, try to update the literature. So fine. So ChatGPT, give me the 5 most cited papers about this topic. Wrong. I got 5. Then I went to check to the database to see how many citations allowed and if it was from the past 2 years, right? So 3 of them were what I needed. The other 2 were from 10 years ago. One was from 10 years ago, and the other one was in the period of past 2 years, but the number of citations was very poor, so it seems to me that poor ChatGPT, doesn't want to look bad and give you one, and adds whatever is needed to complete the task. So I think it's a powerful tool, but like any other, it's an assistant or a second opinion. It's just an opinion that can give you ideas, can save you time, but you cannot trust it blindly. Well, thank you very much. I really enjoyed this session, and we have not had a huge number of attendees, but we've had quality rather than quantity. Monica, thank you for coming to this session. And
Enrique, I always follow you.
okay. Well, thank you very much, and thanks to you. I must say something, and I'm being honest. I teach MBA students, and your abstracts and your presentations really could be one of my MBA students, and I would definitely believe it. The quality and everything is very professional, very well done. Congratulations. I will talk to your instructor later. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.
Okay.